Welcome to Nightland Frights, the darker, twisted shadow of Dairyland Frights, where nightmares stretch long past midnight and the unknown never stops watching. From restless spirits to ancient evils, every story you'll hear tonight will drag you deeper into the dark. So turn down the lights and listen carefully, because on this side of the veil, something is listening back. 5 types of ghosts. 1. The interactive personality. The most common of all ghosts spotted is usually of a deceased person, someone you know, a family member, or perhaps even a historical figure. These ghosts can be friendly or not, but often show themselves to others in a variety of ways. They can become visible, they can speak or make noises, touch you, or even emit an odor like perfume or cigar smoke, etc., to let you know they are there. Experts say that this type of ghost retains its former personality when they were alive and can feel emotions, and often they are visiting you to comfort you or let you know something important. So if you happen to see a lost loved one, chances are they are there because they feel you want or need to see them. 2. The ectoplasm or ectomist. Ever seen a mist or fog that almost looks like it's swirling? If so, you may be witnessing what paranormal investigators deem as an ectomist or ghostly mist. This vaporous cloud usually appears several feet off the ground and can move swiftly or simply stay still, almost like it's orbiting. These ghostly encounters have been captured on many videos and in photographs and can be white, gray, or even black. Although they can simply appear this way, linger, and then move away quickly, sometimes ectoplasms appear before becoming a full-bodied apparition. Many people have witnessed them outdoors, in graveyards, battlefields, and historical sites. 3. The poltergeist. Perhaps one of the most popular terms most of us have heard when it comes to ghosts. The word poltergeist actually means noisy ghost, because it is said to have the ability to move or knock things over, make noise, and manipulate the physical environment. While many of us had heard the term before, a poltergeist is actually one of the rarest forms of hauntings, and to many, the most terrifying. Loud knocking sounds, lights turning on and off, doors slamming, and even fires breaking out mysteriously have all been attributed to this type of spiritual disturbance. Another frightening aspect of the poltergeist is that the event usually starts out slowly and mildly, then begins to intensify. And while many times poltergeist activity is harmless and ends quickly, they have been known to actually become dangerous. Some experts explain it as a mass form of energy that a living person is unknowingly controlling. Whatever the case may be, poltergeists have caught the attention of paranormal enthusiasts and experts, scientists, and many others who are just plain curious. 4. Orbs. Orbs are probably the most photographed type of anomaly. They appear as a transparent or translucent ball of light that is hovering over the ground. Many ghost hunters and guests on ghosts and gravestones are surprised to see them in their photos. It is believed that orbs are the soul of a human or even an animal that has died and is traveling around from one place to another. The circular shape they take on makes it easier for them to move around and is often the first state they appear in before they become a full-bodied apparition. If you're lucky enough to capture an orb on video, you'll be amazed by how fast they can move. In photographs, they are usually white but can be blue as well. 5. Funnel ghosts. Most often spotted in homes or old historical buildings, the funnel ghost or vortex is frequently associated with a cold spot. They usually take on the shape of a swirling funnel, and most paranormal experts believe they are a loved one returning for a visit or even a former resident of the home. Appearing as a wisp of light or a swirling spiral of light, they are often caught in photographs or on video. Types of hauntings. Demonic activity. Demons are entities that never had a mortal human form. Origins. Extraterrestrial. Why? If you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that would make them extraterrestrial. If Satan and 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God's kingdom, then Satan and 1/3 of the angels that became demons are also extraterrestrial. That is why they never had mortal human form. Einstein said that E equals mc squared. Energy can be converted into matter and matter into energy. Demons are pure energy entities. They are described in 3 different ways. 1. An angelic being of beauty that will manipulate the person to commit something sinful or out of the ordinary. 2. Horrific, evil-looking. Some people claim they have seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. I believe demons do this for a scare effect. They know what we fear, and this is not their true appearance. 3. Black mist, black fog, black shadow, black smoke. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or black fog. 4. Horrific, evil-looking. Some people claim they have seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. I believe demons do this for a scare effect. They know what we fear, and this is not their true appearance. 5. Black mist, black fog, black shadow, black smoke. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or black fog. They are usually very easy to identify as long as they are not hiding. When it is a demonic haunting, you typically notice a revolting stench, similar to rotted flesh or sulfuric acid. They often let loose a growl that sounds like it is coming from everywhere at once. They like to make contact by pushing, shoving, hitting, and even scratching. The whole air in the affected area will feel thick like fog, and the temperature will drastically change, typically becoming warmer. These creatures are very strong, unlike human spirits, and they don't mind showing it. There have been cases where people have been thrown through the air and even attacked. Apparently, their main goal is to break down a person's free will to make way for possession. This can take days, months, or years, but time is of no concern to them. They have a hatred for mankind that dates back to the days of God and Lucifer. They have lived for millennia and will be here long after we are gone. So you must understand that though you may be able to get these creatures to leave a dwelling with religious provocation, you will never destroy them. They could go to the next place down the road if they choose, but most likely they won't because distance is not an issue for these creatures. They could go from Maine to California on a thought. Demons are capable of changing form right in front of you, from a human form to an inhuman form. They are neither male nor female, but can change to meet their needs. People mostly see demons as black masses standing in doorways or near rooms. Sometimes they are called shadow devils, shadow people, or shadow creatures. Activity. This is a type of haunting activity that has no real explanation. They are different from ghosts. They are usually shapeless dark masses, mostly seen with your peripheral vision. They are known to do things that are different from ghosts. They can move between walls. They have no human features. They wear no clothes, except for the hat, man-hooded figure, shadow creatures. People who encounter them have a feeling of dread. Clairvoyants who encounter shadow people say they do not feel they are human and consider them non-human. Shadow people have no discernible mouths, noses, or facial expressions. Some are seen as child-sized dark humanoids. Some people say they seem to be made up of dark smoke or dark steam. At times, when they move, they appear to be moving on an invisible track from one place to another, such as a toy train on a small-scale railroad track. They have been seen to hop, or what appears to be a strange dance. They are known to stare at the floor. 2 common types of shadow people are the Hat Man, who looks like he or she is wearing a 1930s fedora hat, and the hooded figure, which looks like the shadow person has a hood over their head. The hood and hat stand out as clothing, but otherwise they are not wearing any clothing at all. There are also reports of shadow animals, such as a shadow in the form of a cat, with no discernible mouth, nose, or eyes. Portal hauntings. Portals aren't really a new concept, as we've seen them in a lot of sci-fi flicks. But in the real world, portal hauntings are considered controversial, as there is little known, and the idea is mostly theory or speculation. Portals are thought to be doorways to another world or dimension through which entities travel. It's speculated that portals are not limited to one location, region, or limited to sacred ground. Typically, places that experience a wide array of different types of anomalous activity, such as glowing balls of light, odd creatures, strange shapes, or unexplained mists or fog. are suspected to have a portal through which these energies are traveling back and forth. Residual haunting activity. Residual haunting activity can occur when something traumatic/stressful occurs, such as a murder or a rape. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint or record the events. Like a recording tape, it will play the events over and over again. The entities involved in this residual haunting activity are unaware of their surroundings. This is not an intelligent haunting. There is no interaction between you and the entity. Residual haunting activity can also be caused by positive energy blasted into the atmosphere. Many times you have heard ghost stories where people can hear the sounds of a party. They hear music, singing, dancing, laughter, and when they enter the room where they hear the party, there is no one there. Residual haunting activity can be the specters of living beings. Real-life ghost stories.
My first house was built 1913. After moving in, I knew pretty much right away that I wasn't alone because out of the corner of my eye, I would always see movement in the mirror of the built-in china cabinet. I also smoked back then and came out of the bedroom one morning to find the ashtray flipped off the end table onto the floor. Lots of little things kept happening over the years, but I never felt threatened or scared. We, meaning the ghosts, spirits, and I, coexisted in the house with no problems. My BF moved in, and after a few years, we got married. I'd talk about these things, and he'd just look at me, never saying too much about any of it. He traveled quite a bit for work, so I was home alone a lot. One night, I was on my computer, listening to music and playing games. Plain as day, I was tapped from behind on the right shoulder 3 times. I screamed and jumped up, turned around, and no one was there. Scared the crap out of me. I told my now husband about it, and then he started opening up about the shadows he'd see moving around in my office. He talked about the footsteps he'd hear in the house when he was alone. The tapping on my shoulder happened one other time after that. When we were moving out of the house and it was pretty much empty, I was there alone cleaning, and I heard the footsteps he talked about. Whatever or whoever was there started to feel more menacing towards the end of our time there. I loved the house, but was pretty glad when we left. I worked at a public pool. At night, I would work alone after hours, cleaning the building and the pool. One night, around 2 a.m., I was cleaning the changing rooms. The pool has been closed for 4 hours at this time.
So suddenly I hear the sound of a child's laughter and bare feet running across the pool deck. I go out and scan the area. There's nobody in sight. The doors are all closed and locked. There is nowhere a kid could be hiding. There are no wet footprints on the pool deck. I rechecked the doors and the security monitors. I am the only person in the building. It was unsettling. I lived in an old haunted house in college. Things got so weird that everyone moved out except for me and one roommate. I woke up at 3 a.m. because my roommate's door kept opening and slamming shut. From bed, I yelled for him to stop, only to realize I was the only one home that weekend. As soon as I yelled, the slamming stopped, but the hippie beads I had hanging outside my closed door began to sway perfectly, yet violently, against the door frame for a half hour, while I debated if I should pop out my air conditioning unit and jump out of the window. I lay in the fetal position in bed till it stopped.
I woke up at 3 a.m., alone again, hearing the Nintendo on the back porch playing loudly. I figured a drunk kid came in and started playing. I grabbed a bat and walked toward the back of the house as the music got louder and louder. As soon as I opened the door, it was completely quiet. Mind you, it was loud enough to wake me up. 3. I had friends over and told them the house was haunted. No one believed me, so I asked the ghost to do anything to prove it was there. As soon as I asked, all the lights in the house began flickering for about a minute straight. This was the middle of the day. Everyone witnessed it.
4. Almost everyone who stayed at my house had sleep paralysis at least once in the house. Every time something spooky happened, the house would smell like old lady, flowery, strong perfume. This house had a door built into the flooring that led to the basement. We always had a rug covering it up, so no one knew it was there. Things would constantly go missing in the house and turn up in the basement. This house had a coal chute from when it was heated by coal back in the day. Missing stuff would always be placed on the chute for us to come and get.
Seventh roommate had some issues. Once while playing video games late at night, he saw a mist kind of hovering from the kitchen and then move into the bathroom. The bathroom had a trap door that led to the attic. That's where we figured the old lady ghost used to like to hang out.
Roommate was up late. He went to lock the doors and turn off the lights. When he turned his back on the room and walked to the door, someone breathed into his ear. Ha! He thought it was me. I was sleeping. He turned around, pissed himself, and ran to his room. He was too afraid to come out and turn off the lights and TV. 9. Loud thumps in the attic at all hours. For peace of mind, we told ourselves, squirrels must have gotten in there. Voices would wake us up in the middle of the night. I spent many mornings on the front porch waiting for the sun to come up before I went back in the house. Coincidentally, I had a friend years later who rented from the same landlord. Same town, different house, where he and all of his roommates moved out because that house was also haunted. I didn't think it was too weird until he was telling me that when all of the weird stuff happened, it was accompanied by old lady, flowery, stanky perfume. Also, a lot of people had sleep paralysis in that house as well. When I was around 9 to 10 years old, I remember waking up to see a large shadow standing at the foot of my bed. I was living with my dad at the time. He has a very large, 5-floor terrace house built in the 1800s. Every so often, there would be an unexplainable event happen, such as footsteps when there's no one there or voices. On the night this happened, it was just my dad and me in the house. My sister was staying with my mom at the time. I woke up and noticed the door to my room was wide open. I normally sleep with it closed. I then became aware of a large, around 7 feet tall, shadow-like figure watching me from the end of the bed. When the figure noticed me looking, it seemed to melt into the floor, and the door to my room slammed shut. Understandably, I was slightly traumatized by the whole experience. Asked my dad the next day if he was in my room, and he denied any knowledge of the event. He's not the type of person who likes jokes. At the time when this happened, about 8 years ago, when I didn't believe in ghosts as much, my family and I were staying at a historic hotel in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I had a few spare moments and decided to explore the hotel because it was absolutely beautiful. I got lost and I happened to run into someone who looked like they worked for the hotel but wasn't a house cleaner or a clerk, so I was unsure of their position or job. I asked for directions back to the lobby since I had to meet my family in a few minutes. The moment I arrived in the lobby and walked past the front desk, a clerk and a security guard were staring at me in shock and pale faces. The security guard asked me who I was talking with earlier for the directions back to the lobby. I told him I thought it was someone who worked at the hotel. Well, wouldn't you know? It turns out that floor I was on, I can't remember it for the life of me, has a bunch of paranormal shit that goes on regularly. The person I was talking with never appeared on the security feed, even though they should have been in plain view. It was super creepy because I had shaken this person's hand for some reason, and the footage just showed me shaking hands with the air. The person appeared in front of me as any other person would have. When I touched their hand, it felt like any squishy person would normally, and yet they never showed up on the footage.
There was no way I could have blocked out the person from view of the camera, either, as I'm only 5 feet 6 inches. The security guard even pulled up a second angle for further proof. No one else believes me despite the footage. To this day, I still don't know how to explain it.